This is where we're going to take a look at Tennessee's offense versus Alabama in a huge win. Of course, it wasn't clean by any stretch of the imagination. Both teams really struggled offensively, especially in the first half. It wasn't a pretty game, tons of penalties, but Tennessee comes away with a win, 7-point win at home over Alabama. And we're going to jump right in, see some of the good and some of the bad from Tennessee in this game. And the very first thing we're looking at is just the run game. This very first play is kind of an epitome of the first half, and really what Tennessee's had in the first half for the past couple of weeks. They haven't scored a point in the past 3 weeks in the first half. And right here, pretty good concept. They're in a twins look, and they're running GT here up front, but it's a bash read, so it means back away. He's arcing out right here. So back's going here. If this DN gets upfield or widens out, that quarterback's going to run the GT back to the right. But if he squeezes, they're going to give the ball to the running back, let him get the edge. That's what happens right here. So DN squeezes with that GT action. Just hand the ball on the edge. Tight end's arcing right there for that safety. And right here, just turns to a huge play. Nobody really home here for Alabama on this bash read. Turns to a big play. But, of course, you know how it is. They're just ripping at the football. Malachi Moore ends up ripping this ball out. And really good play here by the defense. Just rallying to it, ripping the football, get it out, and they get the ball right here. So it stops any momentum right there early for Tennessee. This is a really good look of it just right there. It's never going to be the first guy, typically. Now, of course, they do get the ball out later as well on just a straight hit right there. But if you're looking at Malachi Moore, he's the guy that really you're not anticipating right there, but he just rips it. Great job getting the hand behind the football, between the body and the ball, and pulls that thing out. Great play there by the defense. Really good design there by Josh Heupel, and that's kind of the theme of a lot of different things. They're just not able to finish the play. Right here, they got it in space. Just weren't able to hold on the football at the end, get it ripped out. Big play for Alabama. We're just going to jump all the way to the second half. Really wasn't a whole lot there in the first half. Might see a couple passes here later, but jump to the second half, and what they ended up doing is running a lot more downhill runs, getting to the run game, getting some tempo, and that's where this offense is going to be able to do some damage against different teams. You've got to be able to run the football. In the first half, it seemed like they were almost trying to stay away from that, but hey, downhill runs, get 3 or 4 out of pop, and right here on this one, all it is just zone base. So right here, they motion in. It's just a 4-2 box. Double teaming there to the backside. Everybody else is just basing. He's going to ISO on the back of this, filtering in after he motions it to the box with those wide splits. Of course, this is what we're used to seeing in this thing downhill, just scraping through there. Nobody's left. Explosive play right there for about 14-15. And whenever you can get explosive plays, get positive runs, like they started doing in the second half, now you can get into some tempo, some little bit of rhythm, a little bit of momentum. And that's what they've got to do a lot better job of, just finding ways to get momentum, get some rhythm, and playing fast to get their offense going, especially early in these football games. Now look here, this time counter. I'm not sure exactly what they're trying to do here, but double to the backside. They're pulling both guard, tackle, and this backside end. This backside tight end ends up just blocking this defensive end, so that's probably what he should have been doing in the first place. But there's a kick, there's a lead, just seal back to the backside. This safety had rolled down over here. They got everybody taken care of. You can see just this wash as well on this double team right there on this defensive tackle. A ton of movement right there straight up to the linebacker. You look at that, that's 3 or 4 yards of movement. That is a great job there on the double team, moving down linemen. Kick, lead, and then great patience here by the back. He just says he sees there's a lot of space there. Just go ahead and bounce it. Now it's a race, outruns them. Turns to another big play here on the run. I mean, look at this. Explosive plays. This is early in the second half. Somehow we're starting to get a little bit of momentum there for Tennessee, playing with some momentum, playing with some tempo. And now, whenever you get into their legs, start running the football, everything seems to get a little bit easier. Not a designed run right here, but as you see, basically it's a 3-3, 3-high look. He's probably filtering into the box. They're trying to take a shot here on the outside. This is on a 2nd and 8. And right here, 2nd and 8, you got 3-man route. Got tons of guys deep, so 3 over 2 here. This guy's kind of helping this corner. They're getting 6 guys into the rush, 7-man to protect, and they get a piece of them. Right here, Nico's got to do this a little bit more, be more of a willing runner, especially on these passes after you don't like the shot. Maybe it's not quite there, it's too high look or whatever. And then right here, safety trying to fill in, puts his foot in the ground, outruns them. An explosive play right there on just a scramble. And again, it comes back down to you got to be able to run the football, get some momentum, get the defense a little bit tired. Don't just get their cleats set in the ground and just play straight downhill on you. Right there playing with tempo in this drive right out of the half and creating big plays right here with Nico's feet. And he is a dynamic player. Sometimes he missed about 3 or 4 shot plays that could have been huge this game, but he'll make up for some of that with his feet, making this second play that's typically not there. An explosive play on a scramble. Very next play, again, playing with tempo. This ball's getting snapped. Not quite as fast as you'd hope. Right there, about 17 seconds left on the play clock. but they're just running inside zone ISO. They're just leading everything right here to the strong side, getting downhill. Nico's looking right here in case some backer just flies off the edge. He could pull that thing and get to the end zone. But right there, a lot of bodies filling gaps, moving people. And this is not quite like an Alabama defense that we're used to seeing. People getting walked off the ball, walked into the end zone. You see everybody right there. The ball's on the 2-yard line. Everybody's in the end zone when that finishes. So kind of the aura of invincibility and the strength right there in the middle of the defense is definitely not there at this moment for Alabama. They're just moving people and walking them back into the end zone for a really big touchdown there right out of half, trying to get some momentum back and get their offense rolling a little bit. Here's another look of just Alabama lining up like a bunch of idiots and just double team there to the backside. Going to pull, we're going to kick, whatever shows up first. Probably this linebacker, they're going to lead right there as well. So the numbers are great. Angles are great. Just to run counter right here. There's a kick on the first guy that shows up. He ends up just kind of kicking both of them into it. So right there, almost like a double team from a pull. So right there, he's basically hip to hip, working to the other safety or linebacker that they're working to as well. Great patience here by the back. Slows down, lets this get kicked. Now he's going vertical. Great wall created by the line since that alignment was so bad for Alabama. Those guys are just right here in the B gap, A gap, wash that all the way down to the backside linebacker. But anyway, great patience, again, getting vertical. And this is one right here where they're running with some tempo. Play clock's still at 40 somehow. I don't even know how that's possible. But anyway, running it with quite a bit of tempo. Defense is not quite ready. Easy first down right there on probably second or third down and 4 to 5. And right there they get 8 real easily before they even lined up. After a big play and completion, getting into a 20 personnel set, running inside zone. Defense trying to come off the edge here. No chance. Nico was watching him. If he would have flew in a little bit harder, he's going to get a pull. Leading there to the front side. Again, tons of movement, body on body, and the running back. Great read here. Finding that open alley and playing with momentum. Falling forward, getting into the end zone. Again, whenever they play with momentum and they played downhill and played with that tempo that they're known for, they look pretty good. Offensively, they're able to do some stuff, but obviously early in the game they weren't able to do that. I would have loved to have seen them be a little bit more downhill, a little bit more run-oriented early in the game, and letting the offensive line get into the legs of that defense just a little bit more early, and could have had more success. But right there, again, second touchdown of the game, still in the third quarter, and now they're starting to roll. Back to this 2 tight end set right here. It's basically an A set. I mean, not much different than a wishbone, but everybody's going to run inside zone to the right, and both these guys are arcing around right here for the quarterback pull. But right here, running back gets the ball downhill. There's really no reason for a pull. Extra bodies here. He bounces out. The only guy that's really left that's unblocked is his safety, and he outruns that guy right there on 3rd and 1. That's Malachi Moore, one of the better players for the Alabama defense right there. But great read. Again, inside zone. They're going to double there up. He's just basing right there. These guys are pulling for whatever shows up. And, of course, it looks like they're squeezing a little bit, so he's trying to play over the top here from this linebacker spot. You can see this fullback's got his eyes on them. They don't do a great job filtering through. Both of them should be getting into this gap right now, but both of them just basically run to the back of their own players. But right here again. And right here, this is Dylan Sampson. This is actually Deshaun Bishop with a really good run, really good patience right here. Bending this thing all the way back to where the fullbacks are, getting vertical, making a guy miss on a big run there on 3rd and 1. So again, good play. And right here, Tennessee, they're sticking with what they think they are or what they should be. I don't know if that's what they think they are, but I think that's one of those things they're going to have to find their identity. I think that's got to be running the football, running Nico a little bit, and then hopefully connecting on a couple shots throughout the day. Really got to work those so we can hit more of them. We did get some guys open, just missed them, but right there, run game looking good against Alabama's defense. And right here's a really good changeup as well. Again, you see these guys off the edge trying to bring pressure, and they're running speed option here to the right. They're just working a zone here to pin. 2-on-1 right here on the outside linebacker. Leave these guys. They're not going to get there. They're not fast enough to run this down. So right here, speed option with this pressure look. Gets everything pinned. Gets a wall. Pitch off that guy. Now we're just circling the defense. We're rolling. And, of course, on this one, they do get a holding penalty right here. But, again, that's a great call on a 3rd and 10 against the pressure look. Get some speed option if they can just move their feet right here or even just let them go. There ain't no reason. Just let that guy go where they're going to get the first down right there. It's Deshaun again. He's going to find a way to get the first down. But right there, great call by Josh Heupel. And then really good execution as well for that running back to get there from the opposite side, which that makes it hard. Him aligned here trying to get the option pitch. He may not have the width that you typically would if he started on that side. But still well executed. Still outrunning the defense here. getting close to the first down, even though we get a holding call now, goes back to 3rd and 5 as opposed to 3rd and 10. Great call by Heupel on that speed option. Another look here, this 3-back set where both fullbacks are leading out here to the right for possible quarterback pull. Again, inside zone here, really simple. Double there up, double there to that linebacker, going to block down, pull a kick, pull a kick. Really should have a ton of numbers here. This guy gets upfield, and so they get a hand read right here. A lot of movement, and as you see, this double team on his nose just falls down, and they get up to that linebacker, so he got a body on a body, make a cut off of it. Great job here by the running back, getting vertical, fighting forward right there after contact. This guy just leans on him. He grabs his waist, and he takes him for a ride for about 9-10 yards. So great run right here. Showing some strength there from Tennessee running backs. That's Dylan Sampson right there. Had a huge night, rush for 139, averaged 5.3 per. Had a couple touchdowns, so huge night there for Dylan Sampson. And I think we're trying to find our identity right there with the run game. Hopefully it can carry over from that second half into the games that we have coming up. Look at the run game, which really took off in the second half. Now we're going to look at some of the passing game throughout the entire game. Of course, there were a ton of long fly balls where they were able to get guys open, where it's on deep choices, whatever it is. They had guys open and just couldn't connect on it. So, I mean, if you want to see that, just watch a little bit of the MLB playoffs and just watch a bunch of highlights of long fly balls. Kind of sucks. One of those things where it's like, hell, that would have been awesome, but not even close on the throw. So, you can imagine what that looks like. But anyway, we're going to roll through some of the things that Tennessee did do well. And right here on this one, and trip set, this is on a 3rd and 7, so a really good play here. Showing a pressure look, but they only rushed 4. And right here, as you're looking at it, looks like man-to-man, outside leverage, or at least square here from that corner. Tennessee runs a bang it or a glance right here, whatever you want to call it. These guys are just dropping their eyes on the quarterback. There's the window you're trying to exploit whenever he's just dropping flat like that. Great job letting him work to that window. And you can see the timing on this when he does throw this. Boom, ball's out now. All right, so right there, as he's crossing him, that ball's out because he's got to hit in that window before this Mike gets to it. And this is a really accurate football. We'll see somewhere it wasn't so accurate. Those guys kind of bailed him out. But right here, does a great job, puts it on his body. That helps him to protect himself. And now he's running away from that Mike. Big play right here on 3rd and 7 in the first quarter on a big completion. Hopefully that could give him a little bit more confidence as this game got going. This play right here is actually the same concept or same type of concept that Tennessee picks off at the end of the game. But right here, you basically got an out. You got a dig right here. Really good against a too high look. I don't think these guys are playing hard enough over the top to really warrant this. And you got an extra defender right here. So this linebacker makes it hard. Nico's looking, hopefully he's wanting to throw really this dig, but that linebacker had dropped to it. He's hoping that possibly he would blitz or stay in the box, but he doesn't like it. So now he starts scrambling this direction. And, of course, really good scramble rules. He's about to start turning up, trying to go vertical. And that dig that worked in, now he's going to stop. He starts working back out. Nico does a good job keeping his eyes downfield, getting his shoulders around last minute, getting this ball out. So he'd gone dig. Then he worked back to the sideline. Once he saw Nico start to scramble, really good throw and catch right here for a big completion against Alabama's defense. On the last play, we saw Nico get maybe a little bit too much confidence right there, rolling to his left. So right here, trying to take a shot on the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. So, again, you got to know the down distance. You cannot force the football on a 1st and 10 right here in the red zone. 7-man pro. He starts rolling to his left for whatever reason and gets some guys into his face, some pressure. And right here, ball gets tipped up right to the defender. So pick right there. We're in the red zone on a 1st and 10. That's a huge no-no. No reason right here to force this football. Just throw it away. It's a 1st and 10. We're going to get a field goal, at least get a shot at a field goal. You know, those have been going for Tennessee. But can't force the ball right there, even though you're getting hit. That sucks, man. We got to get the ball out. It's 1st and 10. Do not be this reckless with the football. Let's scramble. Let's get vertical, which there's no reason to get out of the pocket. Everything's great in the pocket. You got 7-man pro, only 4-man rush. Sit in the pocket. In worst case scenario, let's start working vertical. So now we get a positive gain instead of getting out of the pocket and throwing a pick. So really frustrating drive right there because there were some good plays. And then right here, Nico just tries to do his own thing and throws a pick on a 1st down in the red zone. Last 2 plays right here are going to be the best throws of the night. Right here, an empty look. But you got your fullback right here, so they end up sprinting out here to the right. It's just this fade out. So right there, you're looking to fade out. If you like the fade, great. Let's take it. It's one-on-one. Rolling to his right, so right here, really comfortable throwing that direction. Lets this thing ride because he has a step on him. And this is a heck of a throw and catch. So right here, sprint to his right, throwing a fade ball, one-on-one, right in stride. Huge play right there inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. That's a heck of a play there by Dante Thornton, tracking this ball down, coming down with it for a huge play for Tennessee, able to score on the next play. And of course, the best ball of the night right here, the go-ahead score, it's basically a slot fade. I don't know if this is a deep choice or whatever it is, but right here, knowing where you're at on the field, knowing, hey, this is on the 16-yard line, we're going to have to punch plant, get this ball out, and let our guy run it down, put it to the back half of the end zone with some pretty good tempo to it, some good pace, so we don't run out the back of the end zone. So right there, really good throw and catch. Great job knowing where you're at on the football field. So this is the Nico that we're looking for, a slot fade on the 16-yard line, putting it right where your guy needs it. It's on a 3rd and 5, and he gave his guy opportunity. And then huge play by Brazel right here coming down with it for what ended up being the game-winning touchdown. Of course, they ended up tacking on a field goal there late as well, but huge play, great tempo to that throw, and showing that Nico does have some tools to make some plays down the field. With all that being said, Tennessee's offense was up and down all night, did just enough to win, beat what I think is a pretty flawed Alabama team. But I think hopefully they can grow from that and learn what their identity is. I think it's running the ball downhill, using Nico's legs in the run game, scrambling around a little bit, sprinting out, and hopefully they can hit a few more of the shots that they're able to get guys open with. I think it's great to see Tennessee be able to get a win against a pretty decent team, very talented team, even when they're not bringing their fastball. They don't have their A game. They're able to find a way to win. And I think they are going to get better through the year because they're definitely not a finished product. I think Nico's going to continue to grow. They're going to continue to figure out what he's good at and where and how they need to utilize his talents to have a consistent offense and an offense that can compete for a championship this year in the SEC. But anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching. And make sure you have your lookout because we're going to talk about Alabama's offense and how they're struggling as well. It's going to talk a lot about Tennessee's defense as well. So make sure you subscribe so you can catch that whenever we put it out. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you guys again in the next video.